Myself, G. Mahesh Kumar, Assistant Professor of Chemistry in the Environmental Sustainability. Today, we are going to discuss the topic of discussion is solid waste. Topics that we are going to cover in this solid waste is one is introduction to the solid waste, classification of solid waste, engineered system for solid waste management, methods for solid waste management, and management of solid waste. Introduction to solid waste, classification of solid waste, engineered system for the solid waste management, methods for solid waste management, management of solid waste. These are the topics we are going to cover. Coming to first, what actually the introduction to the solid waste. Waste is nothing but depending on their physical state, they are classified into liquid waste, gaseous waste, and solid waste. Okay, this is what we are going to discuss in our today's class. What actually the solid waste is. Solid waste is nothing but it is a unwanted or useless, solid materials generated from combined residential, industrial, and commercial activities in a given area. Solid waste is nothing but unwanted or useless solid materials that is generated from combined residential, industrial, economic, commercial activities in a given area is called as solid waste. What are the sources of solid waste? Okay, from where the solid waste has been generated. Okay, sources of solid waste is solid waste from domestic garbage, solid from waste materials of various industries, garbage, solid from agriculture waste, plastic, glass, metal, e-waste, medical waste, and construction waste or sewage sludge. Okay, these are some of the sources of solid waste, solid domestic garbage, and solid waste from the various industries, solid agriculture waste, plastic, glass, metal, e-waste, etc., and medical waste, construction activities like waste or sewage sludge. Coming to the what actually the solid waste management is. Solid waste management is a process of collection of transportation and disposal of solid waste in a systematic, economic, and hygienic manner. What actually the solid waste is? It is a process of collection, transportation, and disposal of solid waste in a systematic, economic, and hygienic manner is called as solid waste. Or another definition of solid waste management is is a process of collecting, treating, disposing of solid material that is discarded because is it of no longer use. Okay, it is a process of collecting, treating, disposing of solid materials that are discarded because it is of no longer use is called as solid waste. How the classification of solid waste has been taken place. Solid waste are classified into based on their sources of origin, based on the physical nature. Okay, classification of solid waste. Solid waste has been classified into based on the source of origin, and based on the physical state, based on the physical nature or physical state. Now, coming to the solid waste has been classified on the sources of origin. On the sources of origin, it has been classified into residential waste, commercial waste, institutional waste, municipal waste, industrial waste, agriculture waste. Based on the sources of origin, it has been following types. That is residential waste, commercial waste, institutional waste, municipal waste, and industrial waste, agriculture waste. These are the based on the sources of origin. Based on the physical nature, okay, it has been classified into garbage, ashes, combustible and non-combustible waste, demolition and construction waste, hazardous waste. Based on the physical state, it is garbage, ashes, combustible and non-combustible waste, demolition and construction waste, hazardous waste. Okay, these are the some of the classification based on the source of origin, uh, based on the physical nature of the solid waste. Now coming to the what actually this is type description of and how what where we are going to find out these sources of solid waste, type of solid waste, how they are generated and what are the sources of this generation. Now coming to the garbage, it is a biodegradable food waste. Biodegradable food waste, residual vegetable or animal waste resulting from handling, preparation, cooking, eating of food. They are decompose rapidly, especially in a warm weather. Residual waste, vegetables or animals waste resulting from handling, preparation, cooking, and eating of food. They are and decompose rapidly, especially in warm weather. Sources are houses, hotels, dairies, meat stalls, etc., from where we are going to get this biodegradable food waste. Second one is the combustible or non-combustible solid waste. Combustible, non-combustible solid waste is nothing but combustible solid waste as paper, cardboard, plastics, textile, rubber, leather, wood, furniture, garden trimmings, and non-combustible solid waste as glass, crockery, tin, cans, ferrous and non-ferrous metals. From where the source of this combustible and non-combustible solid waste, households, offices, hotels, market areas, etc. Okay, these are the some of the combustible, non-combustible solid waste. Okay, combustible solid waste as a paper, this is one of the combustible, cardboard material, plastic, textile, rubber, leather, wood, furniture, and garden trimmings. And non-combustible solid waste is as a glass, crockery, tin cans, ferrous and non-ferrous metals. Coming to the ashes. Ashes is nothing but a residue remaining after the burning of wood, coal, coke, and other combustible waste. Residues remaining after the burning of wood, coal, coke, and other combustible waste. From where the sources of this fireplaces, kitchen, houses, hotels, etc. Okay, ashes are from the nothing but they are these are the residues remaining after the burning of wood. Okay, ashes is nothing but the residue that is remaining after the burning of wood, coal, coke, and other combustible waste. Fireplaces, kitchens of household, etc. Demolition and construction waste. Demolition and construction waste is from where we are going to get this construction waste is inert waste such as dirt, stones, concrete, bricks, pieces of plumbing and heating and electrical parts. Demolition and construction of buildings are the sources of demolition and construction waste. Industrial waste. Okay, these are the specific for the specific industry. Okay, industrial waste is nothing but they are different from the different industries. Like these are the specific for the specific industry. Their characteristics vary widely as inert, highly biodegradable, toxic, reactive, odorous, corrosive, hot, cold, colored, viscous, inflammable, dusty waste is nothing but industrial waste. Different types of industries, thermal power plants, etc., are the example for the industrial waste. Different types of industries and thermal power plants are some of the examples from where we are going to get the industrial waste. Now, next one is a engineered system for the solid waste management. Engineered system for the solid waste management. Okay, waste collection into the dustbin. First, what we are going to first step is whatever the waste that is that we are going to collect into the dustbins. On-site handling, storage and processing. Next, followed by transportation, processing. Next is disposal. First, collection of the solid waste into the dustbins, and on-site handling. We are going to storage it and processing. Next, we are going to transport from one place to another place. Then, after the processing of this solid waste, finally disposal of solid waste. Methods for the treatment of solid waste. Okay, what are the methods that are required for the treatment of solid waste? There are different types of waste. Different treatment methods are applied. Okay, for there are different types of waste. For the different waste, we have to apply the different methods. This treatment process has been listed below. One is open dumps, landfills, anaerobic digestion, composting, vermicomposting, encapsulation, incineration. Open dumps, landfills, anaerobic digestion, composting, vermicomposting, encapsulation, and incineration. These are some of the methods for the treatment of solid waste. One by one, what we need to discuss, what is open dumps? Open dumps are nothing but open dumps refer to the uncovered areas. Okay, these are nothing but uncovered areas that are used to dump solid waste of all kinds. Open dumps are nothing but these are uncovered areas that are used to dump the solid waste of all the different types of solid waste. Okay, waste is untreated and not segregated. They are not separated. Okay, it is a breeding ground for flies, rats, and other insects that spread the disease. Okay, the rainwater runoff from the dumps contaminates nearby lands and water, thereby spreading diseases. In some countries, open dumps are being phased out. Okay, they are removed out because of this waste. Whatever the waste that we are going to contaminate the nearby land and water, thereby spreading the different kinds of diseases. In some countries, open dumps are being phased out. Now, coming to the landfills may be referred to the ground that been filled into the soil with soil and rocks instead of waste materials. Okay, landfills may also refer to the ground that has been filled in the soil and rocks instead of waste materials, so that it can be used for specific purpose such as for building houses. Landfills is also known as dump or tip, the site for disposal of solid waste materials by burial. Okay, older poorly designed or poorly managed landfills can create a number of adverse environmental impact, such as wind blown litter, attraction of vermin, and generation of liquid leachate. Liquid leachate. These are some of the landfills. Sanitary landfills are designed to greatly reduce or eliminate the risk that waste disposal may pose a public health and environmental quality. Because of the sanitary landfills, it may lead to the public health and environmental quality. Composting is a biological decomposition of organic waste under controlled aerobic condition. Composting is a biological decomposition of organic waste under controlled aerobic condition. Industries as paper, agriculture, food processing give out waste which are almost 100% organic. Industries as paper, agriculture, food processing give out waste which are 100% organic. This organic matter can compose to yield good manure. Good manure. Compost is a end product obtained after the subjecting the organic fraction. Okay, what is compost? Compost is nothing but the end product of the waste obtained after the subject the organic fraction of solid waste to aerobic or anaerobic decomposition, yield humus like solid carbon dioxide, water vapor, energy. Solid carbon dioxide, water vapor, and energy. Different stages of composting, like segregation of solid waste, separation of solid waste, processing the compostable matter, preparation of compost, digestion, curing, and screening. Okay, these are the different stages of composting. Here, what happens? Organic matter reacts with oxygen, that is aerobic, in the presence of oxygen, gives carbon dioxide, water plus ammonia. Organic matter in presence of anaerobic bacteria leads to methane, carbon dioxide, H2, ammonia, and H2S gas. Mechanism of composting. Composting is a very complex process involving the participation of several microorganisms like bacteria, actinomycetes, and fungi. Composting is a very complex process involving the participation of several microorganisms like bacteria, actinomycetes, and fungi. Bacteria bring out the decomposition of micromolecule, namely proteins and lipids. Besides generating heat energy, fungi and actinomycetes degrade cellulose and other complex organic compounds. Composting may be divided into three stages with reference to change in the temperature. That is, one is mesophilic stage, thermophilic stage, and cooling stage. Composting has been divided into three different stages. One is mesophilic stage, thermophilic stage, and cooling stage. What is anaerobic digestion? Anaerobic digestion is nothing but it is a regulated version of national events of landfills. In that, it is a result controlled release of methane rich biogas, which offer the potential for very real form of energy from the waste. It is carried out in long fermented tanks. This anaerobic digestion is carried out in the long fermented tanks. In this tank, solid waste is taken, whatever the waste that we are going to taken in the absence of oxygen. Anaerobic digestion, in the absence of oxygen. If it is in the presence of oxygen, that is called as aerobic digestion. What happens here? We are taking the solid waste in a big tanks, and in the absence of oxygen, anaerobic bacteria convert the large organic molecules mainly into the methane, CH4, and carbon dioxide. Unlike composting, anaerobic digestion occurs at one of the three distinct temperature ranges. One is at cryophilic, the temperature range is less than 20 degrees. Mesophilic, the stage 20 to 45 degrees, less than 20 to 25, 45 degrees, and thermophilic stage is greater than 45 degrees. In these stages, we are going to convert the solid waste into the methane and carbon dioxide. Okay, unlike composting, anaerobic digestion occurs one of the three distinct temperature ranges, namely cryophilic, mesophilic, and thermophilic. Microorganisms involved in the anaerobic digestion is there are four main groups of bacteria involved in anaerobic digestion, as shown below. Some typical examples of each is hydrophilic, fermentative bacteria, hydrophilic like Clostridium and Peptococcus. Here, this is a comes under hydrolytic fermentative bacteria. Acetogenic bacteria is a Syntrophobacter and Syntropomonas. Acetogenic bacteria is a Syntrophobacter and Syntropomonas. And acetogenic bacteria is Methanocercinia and Methanopix. Methanogenic bacteria is a Methanobacterium and uh, Brevibacterium. Okay, Brevibacterium. These are the some of the microorganisms involved in the anaerobic digestion. Here, how the digestion process takes place. The digestion process involves the four steps: hydrolysis, acetogenesis, uh, acetogenesis, and methogenesis. Okay, hydrolysis. Hydrolysis is a complex organic matter. Example: fat, carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, etc. Hydrolysis, hydrolytic bacteria. Here, hydrolytic bacteria takes place, converts the monomer units. Acetogenesis, example: glucose, fatty acids, glycerol, etc. Acetogenesis of fermentative bacteria, acetogenic bacteria, organic acids like acetic, butyric, propanic acids, alcohols, and ketones. Acetogenesis, acetogenic bacteria, acetates, carbon dioxide, and water. Methogenesis, methogenic bacteria, methane, carbon dioxide, and H2O. What is vermicomposting? Vermicomposting is nothing but a simple biotechnological process. Vermicomposting is a simple biotechnological process of composting in which certain species of earthworms are used to enhance the process of waste conversion and produce a better end product. Vermicomposting is a simple biotechnological process of composting in which certain species of earthworms are used to enhance the process of waste conversion and produce a better end product. Vermicompost differs from composting in several ways. Utilizing the microorganisms, earthworms that are active between 10 to 32 degrees. The process is the faster than composting. Okay, vermicomposting is the process faster than composting because the material passes through the earthworms and significant but not yield full understood transformation takes place, whereby resulting earthworm casting, worm manure are rich in microbial activity and plant growth regulators. Plant growth. This is how we are going to vermicomposting process. Encapsulation. Encapsulation is a solid particulate waste material coated with thermosetting resin. Solid waste material coated with a thermosetting resin, which is compressed and cured to form a rigid core. Here, encapsulation is a process where we are going to use solid material is coated with thermosetting resin, which is compressed and cured to form the rigid core. The rigid core is coated with the flexible thermoplastic resin to provide a sealed encapsulated waste which can withstand moderate compressive loads. Encapsulation methods are of two types, micro encapsulation and macro encapsulation. Encapsulation is of two types. One is micro encapsulation and macro encapsulation. Insertion. Insertion is a most common thermal treatment process. It is a burning of waste at temperature 1000 degrees, that is 200 degrees in the presence of oxygen, so as to eliminate all odors and ensure the good combustion. After incineration, the waste converted into carbon dioxide, water vapor, and ash. It converts the hazardous organic substance into the less hazardous components. Management of solid waste. The fundamental objective of waste processing is to reduce the amount of waste through recycling and disposal of waste in a way not to impair environmental conservation. Management of solid waste is done according to its nature. One is management of medicinal solid waste, management of non-degradable solid waste, management of hazardous waste, management of non-hazardous and biodegradable solid waste, management of electronic waste or e-waste. Coming to the management of medical medical solid waste. Fundamental objective of waste processing to reduce the amount of waste through recycling, disposal of waste in a way not to impair environmental conservation. Environmental conservation. Conservation. Okay, the five types: management of medical solid waste, management of non-degradable solid waste, management of hazardous waste, management of non-hazardous or biodegradable solid waste, and the management of electronic waste or e-waste. First one, what is management of medical solid waste? Okay, here the hospital waste is generated during the diagnosis, treatment, or immunization of human beings or animals, or in such activities in this field or in production or testing of biological. Medical solid waste include both non-hazardous and hazardous waste constituents, that is non-hazardous waste, hazardous waste. Treatment option: incineration and sanitary landfills. Management of non-degradable solid waste. Examples of non-degradable solid waste are ferrous and non-ferrous metals. Example: iron, steel, aluminium, etc. Management of non-degradable solid waste. It comes under non-degradable solid waste like ferrous, non-ferrous metals, glass, plastics, and textile. Example for ferrous and non-ferrous metals like iron, steel, and aluminium are the examples for ferrous and non-ferrous metals. Okay, they are comes under non-biodegradable solid waste. Treating options of this non-biodegradable solid waste is recycling, sanitary landfills, incineration. Incineration. Management of hazardous waste. Okay, the following process applied in the hazardous waste treatment. One is physical separation, gravity separation, dissolved air flow, flotation, and solvent extraction, sorption on activated charcoal, activated carbon. Treatment options for this management of hazardous waste is following process required in applied in hazardous waste management treatment is physical separation, gravity separation, dissolved air flotation, solvent extraction, absorption on activated carbon. Treatment options are thermal treatment, incineration, biological treatment. Management of non-hazardous and biological biodegradable solid waste. Non-hazardous solid waste is a total waste including municipal waste, industrial waste, agriculture waste, and sewage sludge. Following methods are followed by management of non-hazardous biodegradable solid waste. Open dumps, landfills, anaerobic digestion, composting, warming, composting. Conclusion of the solid waste. Solid waste management is a process of removal of solid waste in such a manner that it does not cause any problem to the environment. Okay, what actually the solid waste management is a process of removal of solid waste in a such a manner that does not create any problem to the environment and living organisms as well. It is done through the different methods as per the category of solid waste. Coming to the references of this solid environmental sustainability, here Robertson, Margaret, sustainability principles and practices, Tyler and Francis Group, 2017, responsibility for teaching sustainability in context, general of sustainability education. These are the references for the environmental sustainability. Robertson, Margaret, sustainability principles and practices, Routledge, Tyler and Francis Group, 2017, responsibility for teaching sustainability in context, general of sustainability education. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.